A while back I made a video on this model of a manual transmission. This model has 4 speeds, 3 forward and 1 reverse. But how many speeds can a manual transmission have? And how could I design, 3D print, and assemble it? And how exactly will it work? Let's quickly take a look at the fundamentals of a manual transmission. In a regular combustion automobile, the engine needs to run at a certain optimal RPM. This means in order to change the output speed or torque, we'll need to change gears. Here we have high speed and high torque gear sets. The gears on the right are fixed to the axle shaft, whereas the gears on the left can freely spin. See how I'm holding the shaft on the left fixed in place. In order to get any output for the left axle shaft, we could use this coupling gear. You can see the borehole has a notch. This will fix it to the axle shaft. So when the shaft rotates, the gear rotates. And now we could use this red ring gear to connect either side of the gearbox. Depending on if we slide the red gear to the left or right, we could change which gear set is engaged. And this is essentially the very basics of how a manual transmission works. So basically we have high torque and high speed, and we could switch between the two easily. High torque and high speed. Now how many unique speeds can we make? How far can we push it to its extreme? You may notice that all of the gears are meshed together and they all spin. However, none of them are connected to the actual output, the axle on the left. We'll need to connect all of the linkages. Now I can move the shifter to shift gears. It slides along this circular path here. And you can see when I move it forward and backwards, it moves each one of the linkages independently. This will connect that gear ratio to the axle shaft. And here I have a high torque DC motor. This will be powering the whole contraption. I've also attached a LEGO speed indicator. Let's turn it on and see if it works. Right away you'll see there's one issue. The LEGO speed indicator is too tall and it collides with the other axle. This is much better. Now let's turn it on and see if it really works. Right now it's in neutral, so you can see the output is 0. Let's switch it into first gear. And now we have second gear. We can shift up to third gear. Here's fourth gear. We go to fifth gear here. And we can continue shifting all the way up through the entire manual transmission. As we shift gears, the output speed gets faster and faster. The fastest gear is a little bit sticky. And the very last gear is reverse. here you can see how reverse works. There's an additional gear that'll flip the rotation output. You can barely see the last gear spinning backwards here. The shifter for reverse is not working very great, but if I shift it manually by hand, you can see he starts rotating backwards. And here I'm switching between the fastest gear and reverse. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And now let's get a close-up of the gears shifting. Despite having 19 speeds, this manual transmission is actually really easy to understand. Even easier to understand than the 4-speed manual transmission. While the design isn't perfect and it doesn't include a clutch mechanism, it should give you a very good idea of how a manual transmission works. Once again, I'd like to thank my good friends over at Micro Center for sponsoring this video. They're one of the few stores where you can actually go and buy 3D printers and filament in person. They have a super good deal where you can get a 3D printer for only $99. And hurry, because this deal will actually be ending soon. Check out their PC builder that they have on their website as well. If you don't have a Micro Center near you, you can still shop online at microcenter.com. Here's all of the Micro Center filament that I have in my office. You'll find more information and links in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making this project. Thanks for watching and happy printing.